And we got Cybershortieee here.
Hey y'all.
Let's switch to the wide view real quick for the people. Y'all tell me if y'all like this view or not. We working well. We got. I don't really care for it that much. I don't know why. I can't get it the way I wanted to. But yeah, man. First things first. If you're in the video, hit like, hit subscribe, share it out so we can get people in here watching.
Meet us in the comments. We love a comment.
But I think what I really want to talk about real quick is, can you show everybody your book?
And we can. You guys, I wrote a book. 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 Buy the book. Buy the book.
Just for the people who weren't here last time, give them like a quick one-liner or three-liners, however long you want to talk about the book. Go ahead.
Okay, so the book is, if you are into urban fiction, street literature, romance, thriller, suspense, tech, this is the book for you. It details a story of a woman who met someone and they hit it off. They had really, really great chemistry. And then she finds out that this person turns out to be a fraud. So she blocks them and this person isn't able to handle it. And so they start stalking her. And I do mean stalking. And so I kind of talk about it a little bit from a technical perspective. It's kind of light there, but it is very, very entertaining. So if you're a reader, if you're interested in tech, if you want to learn more, if you like Cybershortieee, this is going to be a great read for you. So definitely check me out. It is available for purchase right now, pre-release available right now. So go buy your copy. Meet me in the comments, send me a review, send me a DM. I love feedback about my writing, my books, my characters. So if you have something that's top of mind, absolutely share it with me.
Bet. And she doesn't even know this, but what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to make a form and we're probably going to do a giveaway. And you guys going to have to write some or submit some of why you want the book. And we're going to buy some books and support the good sister.
Ah, I love that.
So outside of that, you on your award tour. What you been up to since the last time they saw you?
I've been outside, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I've been outside. I've been having a good time because I finally finished the book. The book has been boggling down every piece of strength and mental capacity that I've had this year. And so I, kind of submitting it, everything looking good, it being approved, has definitely sent me into a world tour. So I've definitely been on tour. I'm making my final stop tonight. So if you see me tonight, it's AI, but it's been a great weekend. I can't complain. I've been having a good time. I've been, working on my landing page, working on my website, working on some other stuff that I'll be sharing out as well. But I just been enjoying the fact that the book is done. Finally, I have not been in the gym. I've not been meal prepping properly. I've not been sleeping well. Nothing has been going well because the book was kind of top priority. And now that that's done, I can kind of jump back into, everything that I've been focused on.
That's good. That's good, man. Hang on. Let me drop my baby's her drop she did for us real quick. Go ahead. Hold on.
You are now watching the Techtual Talk, hosted by ADT and Cybershortieee.
And give me some gunshots.
My girl ate.
But I had to give some gunshots. You know what I'm saying, get my Joe Budden on. But for me, I think I was telling you that I want to talk about something hilarious. I got connected with this young man who is trying to get into the cyber industry. And we briefly talked last week, and he was telling me how he went to some event, and it was a hiring event, and he pretty much had got like a verbal offer for the role. Now, the whole time I never knew what the role was or how much it paid. He got back to me today. The role, I'm not going to display his name. Actually, matter of fact, so we can get a real reaction, I'm going to actually show her the message real quick. I'm not going to show y'all because I don't want to put them out here, but let's see if y'all laugh at her reaction to this. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. You know we like to do stuff in real time.
I'm good for a reaction too, so I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. You ain't never got to guess that.
Okay. Read the part. Just start where it says today. You only got to read it out loud. You can just read it to yourself. Or actually, you know what? Read it for the audience.
Today. I don't see today.
Yeah, see today inside in your face.
Oh, today. The date. They sent the offer. I requested to schedule a call to discuss the offer. How much is it? They sent it on Friday, and I only had until today to respond. No relocation package and salary is below market salary for the role. 45K with bonuses, but bonuses weren't specifically specified in the contract. No other packages were mentioned. What's the job title? Junior Cyber Hero.
And what do I say right after that?
What the hell is a hero?
Now, I actually found the job title to that. So let me.
I ain't never heard of that. Is it a junior?
Hang on, let me send you the screenshot of what they have it under. So this is the screenshot that is under on their website.
Like click.
No, just look at it.
Yeah.
So you can tell that it's a Fugazi.
Why don't just say that?
Exactly. And he said what he wanted to get paid, and I was like, honestly, I wouldn't probably take the job. Like look at the position overview and tell me if that says you're a cyber hero.
No. We don't need revamped job titles. We just need to be clear on what folks are doing so that they know exactly what they're doing and they know how they can potentially pivot moving forward. I don't like the idea of that because this is the gag. If I go apply at a whatever company and they see junior cyber hero on my resume, nobody's ever heard of that role before.
They haven't. And I'm going to read to them the position overview. So Company X, Cyber Hero role is a fantastic role to start your cybersecurity career. Our junior cyber heroes are responsible for, but not limited to, updating and maintaining applications within client environments, building test environments, diagnosing and troubleshooting issues, help desk support, hardware support, supporting our sales team, customer calls, other duties as identified and assigned. This is not a cybersecurity role. I can 100% tell you that this would be a bait and switch where you think you're going to be making test environments and also you're going to be taking calls, doing help desk stuff, which ain't nothing wrong with help desk, but just call it help desk.
It's a finesse in the title, 1000%.
Because it's listed under support on the company's website.
But think about this though. As someone who is trying to find a role, you see that, you're going to be like, ooh, what's this? But that's not a real job title.
But he already has experience. So it's not like he's a person.
Exactly. So he's not starving for nothing.
Well, he might be open to work, but I was like, I wouldn't relocate for
open
45K.
and starving are two different things.
In 2010, you probably could have relocated for 45K, but not in 2026.
Nah, I'm not even going to pretend like that's okay.
But while we are here, did you want to start with, actually, you know what? Go with the North Koreans, if you can pull that up.
I said that? I picked that?
No, I mean, did you only do it for me?
Yes. Was that one of yours?
Yeah. Well, remember I told you that y'all listen to us discuss this in real time. But remember I told you it's really like topics like there really aren't any more like solo kind of like topics just because yeah.
I don't think I have that.
It's cool. Let me find it. I got it though over here.
Okay.
I'll do it real quick. And the only reason I'm starting with this is because Shadow IT and everything else is still like so big. So
it's not gonna go nowhere either.
I'll start with it. Let's go. Let's get it. Americans went to prison for helping North Korea steal American jobs and secrets. 2 New Jersey residents, I want to say it's like Akija Tony Wang, or is that Wong? 42, and Zing Sheen, Danny Wong. So Tony and Danny, that's their American names, but their real names is the first ones I said. 39 were sentenced this month by a federal judge in Massachusetts to 9 years and nearly 8 years in prison, respectively. They pleaded guilty to their roles in a scheme that placed North Korean IT workers in remote jobs at more than 100 American companies. Many of them Fortune 500 corporations and at least one a U.S. defense contractor. The scheme ran from approximately 2021 to October 2024. These 2 Americans were the facilitators, the infrastructure that made the whole operation function on U.S. soil. So how did the scheme actually work? The operation used stolen identities of at least 80 American citizens to pass employment background checks, forward social security cards, fake California driver's licenses with photos of the North Korean operatives, false employment forms submitted to the Department of Homeland Security, doctored tax documents sent to the IRS, and Social Security Administration. And they was dedicated.
They were down for the get down.
They were dedicated. The companies would agree to hire someone for remote work and ship that person company equipment. Keisha Wong and his network of facilitators, at least 5 in this scheme alone, will receive their equipment and operate hundreds of laptops simultaneously in what we are called laptop forms. North Korean operatives would then remotely connect to those devices and do the jobs, all from an American IP address, looking like a legitimate US-based employee. Now, I'm looking through the story, and nowhere through the story right now did they say that these people, that's typically when you get this new laptop, you have your orientation. You have to show your face for at least a couple of days and talk to your manager and everybody else. So nowhere did it say that they had to get on there and talk to these people. But let's keep on going. The scheme generated over $5 million in salary payments to North Korea. The victim companies incurred at least $3 million in legal fees and computer remediation costs. One defense contractor had ITAR controlled data. What's that? International Traffic in Arms Regulations.
Okay. Oh my God, Jesus.
Sorry, y'all. She saw a bug. She don't do bugs
At all.
Okay, so the scheme generated over $5 million in salary payments in North Korea. The victim companies incurred at least $3 million in legal fees and computer remediation costs. One defense contractor had ITAR controlled data, International Traffic in Arms Regulations, exfiltrated by a North Korean operative who gained access through this channel. This is bigger than these two men. The sentencing of Wong and Wong, it's supposed to be Tony and Wong, I don't know, brings the number of Americans convicted for aiding North Korea's IT worker scheme to at least 7 since 2025, including a former active duty U.S. Army soldier, a nail technician from Maryland, and a woman who cared for 90 laptops in her home, while helping North Koreans secure jobs at 309 different companies, generating $17.1 million. 8 other defendants indicted in June 2025 remain at large. The State Department is offering up to $5 million for information on them. North Korean IT workers have reportedly embedded themselves in some subcontractor networks, specifically to reach larger corporate and government targets. Researchers note these identities, once established, keep working even after a facilitator is caught or stops participating. For hiring managers and HR teams, the FBI has issued specific red flags. Tech workers who push back on video calls, claim camera issues, share inconsistent background details, ask to use their own equipment instead of company-issued devices, or route payments through multiple third-party accounts. The DOJ has recommended multi-factor authentication for onboarding, live video verification, and IP address verification during the hiring process. North Korea is funding nuclear weapons development with American salaries. The people who made that possible weren't foreign adversaries sneaking across the border. They were right in your backyard in New Jersey, running laptop forums in apartments. One had a background check firm, shell companies, and a direct line to, I don't even know how to say that, PYONG, Yong Yang, I guess. 9 years in prison and 8 more are still out there. This is an active, ongoing operation, and the U.S. corporate hiring ecosystem is still the target. What you think about that?
I think it's rough out here being an American. It just is. It's just a lot going on. It's just a lot going on. It's a lot of things that are not still figured out. It's a lot of things that are kind of in the gray area, in the gray space. So I think for us, it's kind of a sticky situation.
Yeah, I agree. But I just think they weren't doing their due diligence.
Agreed.
BYOB did become a thing. Well, not BLB. Bring your own device. BYOD.
Yeah.
Bring your own device became a thing normally in the pandemic times, but that's something that you have to be careful of. A lot of times, in my experience, the companies that let me use my own device, I only was using their stuff pretty much through Citrix. Like I would start a VPN client and you'd be on Citrix. So that's a lot of times what companies do if it's like bring your own device, and using Citrix as your thing actually kind of sucks. I just rather a physical laptop.
Yeah.
But
or make people use virtual desktop.
Yeah.
You know, there are.
But I'm saying it's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're not gonna put appropriate or adequate protect, it's not enough to just be like, yeah, we let our employees use their own devices. If you don't have controls in place to secure said devices.
So I think now the flaw with using,
a lot of it's going to be like session based, browser based, you know, instead of because you don't have control over the.
But I think now, if you let somebody bring their own device, and even if they're using Citrix, they use all the AI deepfake technologies to make them look like whoever the person, whose identity they have. And so that's when you got to hit them with that,
But
touch this or whatever.
And you do have other solutions that will verify you right now today, just because we felt like it, So I think that might be, and I don't want to get all into that, but I guess like if you're a U.S. citizen, maybe you don't have to do those type of things.
You still do. So like even for us, like we have, like we're technically passwordless, but not all the way passwordless. But it's passwordless MFA. So a lot of times, if we seeing something unusual wherever you at, we kind of got detections in for looking for like whether it's a hardware KVM device or a software KVM. We trying to look for that for this very reason.
Yeah.
2, we check locations of everything. So most people who are on our network, they have to have our identity service on the company issued machine. And so that'll let us know, are you wherever you say you are? Or it's got to be on your company provided phone. And that's how we look that up. So once you kind of go through the real logs and check all that stuff and make sure, the other thing is making sure whatever tool you use there, what's it called? Not geopolitical, but geo IP stuff, making sure it's like multiple sources, like that. Because like I've ran into issues where like a Splunker detection made is using a IP lookup and it's using domain tools. Tools. It's technically right, but it's telling you like, hey, this person is in Hong Kong, but really it's one of our employees that works like overseas, and they connect to like our VPN's data center that's close to over there. So technically they're not doing it malicious, but it's showing up as Hong Kong. But the other places is not showing up that, and it's saying, hey, this is a so-and-so IP. So there's a lot of different things they can do from a detection standpoint and the onboarding standpoint. I definitely do think this comes with like HR and all the other stuff, and just not being so willy-nilly to do that. So in the beginning, hey, if you can't be on the call, okay, cool. Well, cancel the access, because we need to know who you are on day one. If you're not gonna be on there, cancel the access. So.
Yeah, and you're fired.
Right.
Today.
But what did you have?
So, I want to talk about some hot technology. So, DJI dropped the Osmo Pocket 4 on April 16th. It has a 1-inch CMOS sensor, 4K at 240 frames per second, 170 gigs of built-in storage, 14 stops of dynamic range. It has a 10-bit D-Log for cinematic color, upgraded active track 7.0 subject tracking. Basically, if you are a creator, this is what you have been drooling over, wanting, desiring, and so on. But the twist is that the US, if you're in the US buyers, we cannot purchase it. Now let's talk a little bit more about that. So DJI is currently on the FCC's covered list. They were placed there on December 22nd, 2025, under the National Defense Authorization Act. That designation blocked new equipment authorizations for DJI products in the US. The Osmo Pocket 4 unfortunately missed the cutoff window, and without FCC authorization, as we know, the FCC does not play, they cannot legally sell those devices here in the US. And I mean, not on their website, not on B&H, Amazon, Best Buy. They cannot sell that device anywhere. And so DJI, in response, is suing the FCC in the Ninth Circuit. And that case is still unresolved until something changes. The Pocket 4 is locked out of the US market. I have the Pocket 3, and I knew it was coming out because they had too many sales. When they put a sale on a piece of technology, that's how you know that something else is coming out. Last summer, when they put all of the sales on the Meta glasses, that's when I knew that there were going to be more Meta glasses coming out. People are not putting sales on their products for no reason. But anyways, the Pocket 3 is still authorized, obviously, and widely used. It's still an amazing tool, but this does set a precedent. The best DJI products going forward may not actually have the ability to reach US creators, consumers at all. So I just think about this from the intersectionality, is that a word? Intersection of you just kind of thinking about geopolitics. creator culture, national security, those things are both very real. When I saw it, because I actually just got my DJI like maybe 2 months ago, not even 2 months ago, somewhere in that time frame. And literally I started seeing ads for the 4 on TikTok like a month after I bought it. But then I like looked it up and they were like, yeah, it's here, but you can't buy it in the US. So I mean, if you can't buy it here, then I don't feel like I'm missing out because everybody here is kind of working with the same available tool set. But I do think it's crazy that the government told US creators that you're not getting that new DJI. What you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, think about it. We can't get the cool what the things called? Those cool Chinese vehicles.
Yeah, or the phones.
Yeah, we can't get them because of course they put
Like the one that
spyware
goes
and
like
stuff on
this?
there. But what you talking about?
That phone.
Is it like a trifold or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And it literally folds into like 3.
But yeah, we can't get none of that cool stuff.
It's like Huawei.
Oh, you talking about Huawei? Huawei, they had a
yeah.
big. It was a big thing about like that surveillance and all that stuff that was going in there. And honestly, though, if they was so DJI and everybody else, they bring what you call good competition. A lot of these companies in the US don't want that competition, so they're gonna pay top dollar and lobby to keep them out.
1000%.
Like I was listening to the Don't Piss Me Off morning show, and 2K and Black TV was talking about. I know you don't really play games like that, however, but the fellas in the chat will give me.
Don't do me. I've been playing a little bit of.
You weren't playing no Madden.
Never playing.
Exactly. So I know you're familiar with 2K basketball.
Yeah.
So there before that they had 2K football, and 2K football used to compete with Madden. It was actually better than Madden.
2K football. What teams was on there? I'm
the
confused.
same teams.
As what?
So for example, for
NFL teams?
So NBA 2K, it's all the NBA teams.
Yeah.
It's just like NBA Live. So NBA Live was the EA version. So EA makes Madden. Here it is. So 2 companies, 2K, EA. EA is Madden, NBA Live, and 2K was the football. And I want to say,
but everybody. So is there a differentiation in people? Like I want 2K versus I want, because I only know people who want 2K. I ain't never heard nobody say they want Madden. Never.
Back in the time, certain times NBA Live was good.
Yeah.
2K football was good, but it had a short stint because Madden went through and bought the rights. So that's why they were able to continue to keep on making Madden, and 2K got stalled out. But I don't know when that runs out.
So 2K's done.
Just not the basketball portion.
I remember 2K16 was a big deal.
The football.
Madden.
No. The 2K football.
Oh, it was called 2K.
It was called actually. Let me see. I think it's called ESPN.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about no football. Bye.
Yeah, so it was called ESPN 2K5. Yeah, NFL 2K. So yeah, they had 2K in their name, just like how they do now.
Just to have it in their name because that's their branding. Not that it is even relevant.
No, it's relevant.
What's the 2K?
The picture? Relevant. Oh, they
quality?
got this deal in 2025. Everything, they had better graphics and everything.
That's what I'm saying. The quality.
It was a good game. Yeah, so they telling me in the thing right now about it. But shout out to everybody that's in here. We got 60 people in here between Twitter and YouTube. So y'all know what to do. Hit the like button. Actually, I don't even gotta say it. Y'all know what I'm finna do real quick.
Bruh man, what's up, man? Bruh man need love too. One love.
Yeah, so bro man need love, textual talk need love too. Now, funny that you were talking about the DJI, we talking about technology and stuff like that. That made me want to talk about this right here. Where's the video file? It's kind of funny. It's like one of them things where people are very pretentious about it. Where is it? Here we go. A little bit of laid back stuff for the viewers.
You're not gonna talk to me because I got an Android.
Yeah, you made a poor life decision.
It was like, I'm the one that's messing the group chat.
Yeah.
Or I'm the one I can't FaceTime. I'm gonna have to go to WhatsApp or figure out another way to talk to you and things like that.
After the third or fourth chick told me I was whack because I had an Android,
I
went and got
that
an
green
iPhone.
one. That bubble went green. Instead of blue.
Yep. When that bubble went green, they was like, ew.
Yeah.
Like a green bubble is like, ew.
Oh, no, you have a Samsung? Yikes. If you want to date a baddie, she wants photos. She wants videos.
Who has
You
a better
can't
phone?
send me. But I
But-
can't
Okay.
receive those
Yeah.
photos well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
They
I
blurry.
need you
Yeah.
to have an iPhone.
So all our tech guys, we got a lot of men watching this. All our tech guys, you want a baddie? Go ahead and get that iPhone. You got 2 phones. Our homie got 2 phones.
I got 2 phones now.
Yeah, so you can still have your Android, but go ahead and get your iPhone. That
What-
FaceTime.
Girl with the army fatigues is definitely a bird.
Why can't I tag people? How was I able to tag people in the comments last time?
Do it from your computer.
Oh, this ain't the right computer. I ain't logged into YouTube on
Are
here.
you not?
No.
But yeah, girl in the fatigues was a bird. If you really got it like that, and you talking to a baddie, you'll get her to download WhatsApp. I'm gonna send it to you on Messenger. I've had people download many of different apps back in the days when Apple did not want to enable RCS messaging because they want to have a hold on the messaging.
Relax. As an Apple,
Point. You know how I know?
as an Apple user,
You know how we know Apple's petty?
I need you to relax.
You know how we know Apple's petty?
Tell
Because
me.
Apple actually could change that. They can make all the text come in blue with RCS.
We don't want to
You know why?
because you're all poor. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, it's just funny. It's just a
Relax, guys. I'm just kidding.
Apple and they psyops. They made people feel superior because they were literally just doing the same thing you would do on any other platform, but iMessage. That's literally all it is. Somebody said the worst take ever. That's literally all it is.
I'm not bringing this laptop anymore. Just don't even worry about it.
You can just
No, I'm gonna bring my regular.
is that phone logged into YouTube?
Yes, this one
Well,
is.
just go on YouTube and scan the QR code and log in.
I
that
can't
way.
remember my password.
You don't have to.
Okay.
If you scan it with the QR code, you just log in easily. But hold on, wait, it's not. What does this mean? Wait, is it not? What does that mean?
Wait, is it not?
I don't know what that means.
Wait, what do I do? Where do I go?
Hang on. If you have a DJI drone, you know there isn't an American company half on par. Also, Samsung greater than Apple. So you know what? I have both. So look, I have the S26 Ultra and I have an iPhone. So I have both too. I think they're better at different things. Oh, blue with RCS. No, they're still green. They're still green when you text an iPhone user. They're still green because they just want to show somebody that you're not using iMessage. But the whole time, Apple got bullied into implementing RCS because the EU. Anytime the EU say
the EU is not playing. When it comes to not playing games, the EU is never playing.
EU made them implement that. They said, "Hey, y'all gonna have to get all your phones USB-C because Apple will do any little thing to make you only buy their stuff. Like all them lightning cables was trash. Everybody else had USB-C for years.
But they got put on. They got put on. They got put on. They definitely got put on.
Give it to her. Share.
They got put on.
Yeah, but they always bully them into doing everything. Just like I'm surprised we don't have our version of GDPR yet.
But why can't we in the US say we don't need 72 different chargers? Why can't we say
that's the whole
this
purpose.
is? I know, but we're only following it because
Not really. Every other
Apple is only following
No,
it
no.
because of GDPR.
Let me tell you why. Every other technology provider had USB-C. For example, my old MacBook Pro, I had a USB-C charger. Now I just went back to their own like magnetic
Yeah,
certain
I
charger.
hate it.
But everything had USB-C. Apple just finds a way. Hey, we want you to buy our cables.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, but they can't do that no more. That is why the outlets of the latest phone are all consistent. That's why on this new MacBook, it's only two.
But you only got two.
It's only two USBs.
All
on
right.
here.
Speaking of, this actually is a good segue. How have you been enjoying your Neo since you first debuted on the show?
Don't put me on the air like that, because I ain't even played around with it. Because I've been using my other laptop, my Asus. So I have an Asus and I have my MacBook. I love my MacBook down, but I don't have time when I was writing the book for the learning curve. Copy, paste, this, that. It just I'm used to using Word and Pages, and yes, you can get Word on a MacBook, but it's different and you still have to know what you're doing. So I really am in a place where I need to play around with my MacBook a lot more. I'm not able to say I've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's been better. I do like that, for example, if we in the studio and we sending each other links or whatever it may be, we can send it and it's just here. Like the what is the word? Not usability.
Continuity.
That and the just the ease of things just being here, because we know we use our phone so much. So if I use my phone and I can use the same device that I'm already taking pictures, videos, whatever content it is, it just makes it a lot easier for everything to be stored in one house. But like, I'm still very fresh. So ask me next time. I should make some more because the book's done, so I can play around a little bit more now.
Got it. Yeah, I seen.
But the sound, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I saw in the comments somebody commented the Attack on Titan t-shirt. Y'all know what's funny? Attack on Titan is probably like the one anime I believe that I can watch anime and I never have to watch.
Really? It's awful?
No, it's very good.
That's good.
I just don't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, well, the ending gave me, it took a long time to give me a twist. Like, I'm a person, I recognize patterns too much. I want you to confuse me and surprise me. So whenever I'm not surprised, I'm kind of let down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to be able to anticipate everything
on what's
going to happen. Yeah. So the best writers to me can throw me for a curveball, or they set something up in the past and like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Hostile Takeover got you. Don't worry about it.
So that's what happened there. Okay.
Hostile Takeover got you. We got you.
We're gonna have to make
we got you covered.
We have to make a web series out of it. We're gonna have to find some actors.
You know, I can act. I can be.
Oh, so you're gonna be like Issa Rae?
Yeah. No, I'm on it.
No, for real.
No, I was about to cuss. You know, I be cussing. Cool. No, I don't cuss that much online.
Let you tell it. So, oh yeah, this for you.
Okay, how to pass the SC200 test? Question for Cybershortieee.
Oh no, that's not what he said.
He said Cybershortieee.
There we go. What is the secret?
The secret is you have to know your tools. That is the honest truth. The SC900 is very fundamental. The SC200 is absolutely not fundamental at all. So you need to understand the different technologies. You need to understand the different blades, the different limitations and capabilities of the tools. Because I believe the 200 covers Sentinel, Defender for Cloud, and Purview, if I'm not mistaken. Please fact check me in the comments if I'm wrong there. But you need to get in and start poking around and playing around with these tools and seeing what the limitations are. If it asks you a question, if you're a user and you're trying to do ABCD, can you do it? Those are the type of questions you're going to get. But believe it or not, the 200 is hard. The 100 is even harder than the 200. So I commend you for, wanting to embark. Do you already have the 900?
I got the breakdown right here if you want me to read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Microsoft SC200 exam, security operations analyst, focus on detecting, investigating, and remediating threats using Microsoft technologies with an emphasis on Microsoft Sentinel, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and Microsoft Defender XDR.
Oh, XDR, not Purview. My bad, y'all.
It tests practical skills in KQL, automated response, and threat hunting.
And they do mean that when they will ask you questions about KQL queries on the actual exam itself, like literally. So you have to get in and play around with different things. Mm-hmm. If you are, there's a Microsoft, you can find a Microsoft Ninja training for every tool they have. So XDR, there should be a Ninja training, Sentinel and Defender for Cloud. There are Ninja trainings for those. Do those, and I promise you'll be in great shape for the exam. But that is my advice, is to actually get in those tools and start clicking around and messing around with things instead of kind of trying to base it off of theory or like the top of your head. You need to know where to go and if the thing is actually possible that the user wants to do.
Yeah, and I'm just going to break it down since this whole AI breakdown gives a good breakdown. Core topics covered in SC200. Mitigate threats using Defender for Cloud. That's going to be 25 to 30% of the exam. So configuring security policies, enable workload protection, server databases, containers, and managing regulatory compliance. The next one will be mitigate threats using Microsoft Defender XDR. That's going to be 25 to 30% of the exam. Managing incidents and alerts across Defender for endpoint, Office 365, identity, and cloud apps. This includes creating and managing automation rules. Mitigate threats using Microsoft Sentinel, that'll be 40 to 45%. Creating workspace analytics, connecting data sources, syslog, CEF APIs, creating custom query languages, queries for detection, and building hunting queries. And then last will be security operations tasks, using advanced hunting, analyzing threat intel, and managing automated investigation and response capabilities. So to me,
I would make a lab out of it.
yeah, to me, as a
1000%.
person who is, even though I have the tools I'm biased on, I've worked in many different environments where I haven't always had the same tool. I have the foundation of knowing what I'm using what for. In this scenario, though, you definitely would want to make sure you play around with all these different Microsoft tools.
You have to. You can't focus on one.
A
'Cause
good,
It's going to ask you about it's going to ask you about those 3 tools. It's not going to lean to the left for one. It's going to ask you about all 3. So you
Yeah.
have to know them comfortably enough.
yeah. So a good way you can start off doing this is Josh Madacor has a lab he put out about 3-4 years ago, where you're using Microsoft Sentinel and you are creating a VM instance, and you're gonna take the firewall off, and you're gonna log everything into your Sentinel instance. Like, start off there so you can kind of get familiar with using Sentinel and using KQL, and then that'll just give you something to build off of all the while doing the exam, and that'll help you out. And let's answer a question from Jacqueline real quick. Jacqueline said, 34 years old, trying to level up my income.
I think we're frozen, HD.
We're-
I see us back moving, but somebody did just say we're frozen.
I mean, that's it. Probably be expected. I mean, we're streaming, so it'll freeze from time to time, probably. Global management degree, heavy technical sales support background. Should I get Network Plus or CCNA for my first cert? I think you're asking yourself the wrong question. You need to figure out what do you want to do,
I was going to say the same
which
thing.
is hard to figure out when you don't know what's out there. So I would try to do my research, get your calls in with certain professionals that could direct you somewhere. If you have sales support background, you know, there are different roles that could be a little bit more technical in sales. Like, have you thought about doing like sales engineering, or you can be like a security advisor, et cetera, et cetera. There are other stuff, but I wouldn't focus so much, at least not even like on those 2 certifications, right? Because just getting them ain't gonna mean nothing when everybody is pretty much studying for like 2-3 weeks. Network Plus to me actually is harder than Sec Plus, and you're sure not
It
going to
is
get
harder.
CCNA super fast, but just studying for them, it'll help you get a concept of just knowing some networking, but it's not going to probably be the thing that gets you a job maybe that you want to do, especially from having a sales background. I know you definitely don't want to start from zero. You're a person that does have some high income transferable skills, and now you need to figure out how to link them to a role that lines up with that versus me just telling you a generic, oh, start a help desk. I only tell people that you know, you may become from retail or you don't have any high income skills, like just start at zero. You don't have to start at zero. Okay, so yeah, they already gave us some good feedback in the chat. So thank you for that. Now,
What you got for us?
I thought you had the next one, unless you want to go ahead and talk about was it Microsoft Teams and the snow malware?
No, that's yours. That's yours.
No, I'm saying I can go ahead and do that if you want to go, if you didn't want to go, if you want to.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. Let me put it back on me real quick. So another time is hackers pretend to be IT in Microsoft Teams targeting your executives. And before I get into this, I wanted to actually look up and let me see, why are hackers able to abuse Microsoft Teams versus Slack? Let me see something. I want to see what we get from Google. Let me see. Hackers are able to abuse Microsoft Teams more frequently and effectively than Slack, primarily due to its open default federation settings, deep integration into enterprise ecosystem, and massive user base, which makes it a high-value target for social engineering. While Slack is also targeted, Microsoft Teams open by default policy enables external attackers to impersonate internal employees or IT staff more easily. Okay. That's kind of what I was thinking, because yeah, like Slack also take a little bit of money to kind of like go behind and want to use as well too. So that's one of the things you probably run into while trying to use Slack. But let's go to the story. Google's threat intelligence group and Manding It just disclosed a campaign from a threat group they're calling UNC 6692. Newly identified, previously undocumented, and the playbook they're using is worth every IT and security person paying close attention to this right now. The attack starts with email bombing. So the target inbox gets flooded with spam, hundreds of emails in a short window, specifically to create confusion and urgency. Then, while the target is overwhelmed, they receive a message on Microsoft Teams from what appears to be an IT help desk employee offering to help them with an email situation. The message looks internal. It comes with a sense of legitimacy. The victim accepts the chat. Now, this is interesting because this is a scenario of you causing a problem and trying to fix it. They do that all the time. Like back in the day, you get them scareware. Hey, your IP was just made public. Call this number right here so we can help you out with it. Like that's what this is given to me. So the Snow malware suite. Once the target engages, they're directed to click a link framed as a patch to stop the email spam. But here's the thing. If you actually on a work computer, just call IT.
But I will say this, as an employee, the first thing that I do when I start is get help desk number. I swear to you, because there have been so many times that I've had an issue. And if you can't get into your device, you can't do anything. If you don't have your manager's phone number and you can't get into your device, what are you going to do? The first thing that I do, and I have so many help desks. I'm about to show HD how many help desk numbers I got stored in my phone from previous employers, because I swear to you, if something happens, how you gonna get in?
Yeah. I just think it's crazy that like I want to in the article, did it show how the messages look that they sent them? Okay.
Past employers.
Let me see. I think it's right here. Let me see if they actually had the picture of what the message look like, because that's pretty interesting to me. Okay, so they don't have it. So I don't really know how you fall for that, but going back here real quick. So when they engage, they directed to click a link, framed as a patch to stop the email spam. What they're actually installing is a dropper that execute a suite of custom malware called Snow. It's 3 different components working together. See, I thought they was talking about ServiceNow. That's why it really intrigued me. I'm like, people using Teams to do stuff with ServiceNow, because for short we call ServiceNow Snow.
Mm-hmm. Why?
ServiceNow.
Why? Because I'm thinking Snowflake when I hear that.
Because you got, so it's normally spelled like this: service and then NOW is capitalized. So you say Snow instead of saying ServiceNow. So Snowbelt is a malicious Chrome browser extension that masquerades as a MS heartbeat or system heartbeat. It establishes persistence through Windows startup folder and scheduled tasks, and it runs through a headless Microsoft Edge process that operates silently in the background. Snowglaze, a tunneler that hides malicious network traffic by wrapping it in base64 encoded JSON sent over WebSockets. To monitoring tools, it looks like normal encrypted web traffic. And the last one is Snowbasin, a backdoor that enables reconnaissance, lateral movement, and data exfil. After getting in, UNC 6692 moves to the domain controllers using FTK Imager to pull the Active Directory database and registry hives, and exfiltrates everything using a file sync tool called rclone. They use LineWire as a fallback remote access channel to ensure LineWire. I thought that was dead.
Me too.
To ensure persistence, even if the initial artifacts are detected and removed. So who they're targeting? Between March 1st and April 1st, 2026, 77% of observed incidents targeted senior level employees, up from 59% in the prior comparable period. This is the deliberate escalation upmarket. Executives have broader access, more valuable credentials, and often receive less security awareness training than frontline employees because of their seniority. Microsoft has noted the external chat warning that appears when the Teams message comes from outside your organization. That warning is this: the attack works anyway because the social engineering creates enough context that the victims dismiss it. So what should organizations do? External Microsoft team messages requesting remote access or asking you to click links should be verified through a known internal channel before any action is taken. Full stop. No exceptions. Based on urgency, an IT help desk that floods your inbox and then contacts you on Teams is a red flag. Not a coincidence. This is a tactic directly connected to former Black Basta ransomware affiliate playbooks. The group shut down, but the methods are very much still in use. So they didn't break any software. They broke the trust that we place in internal tools. Teams feel safe because it's inside the organization. That feeling of safety is exactly what they're exploiting. The attack is sophisticated, not because of the malware. It's sophisticated because it weaponizes your belief that your company's own tools are secure environments. They're not. Not when external communications are enabled.
That was a clock the T right there. That last part, that last line. Because as an employee, why is it not? Why would I not trust it? You know?
Yeah,
but you have to train and teach your employees that you can never really trust anything.
Well, yes, zero trust.
Yeah.
But I think also this is why security awareness should be updated to be better because
Bruh, let's talk about it. They're not people. The threats are advancing and they're not updating the training. They're not. Tell me in the comments right now. Have you noticed that your employer has increased your end user training? Are you doing the training one time a year? Are you doing it twice a year? Are you receiving phishing attack simulations? Do you know how to report the messages phishing? Do you know what generative AI is? Has your employer taught you how to not upload sensitive data into these tools? What is happening with the end user training? It's non-existent.
I had fun with the gunshots. but no, like think about it. Like typically internally, an internal IT person is going to probably send you an email and call you. Two, what you're clicking on, you're gonna have access to like, hey, can you give me access to this? They don't use like typical regular accounts to do anything remote. 9 out of 10, there's gonna be a ticket connected to everything they're doing.
And it might look very it should look 9 times out of 10, it should look different from what one of your coworkers would look like if you were to ping them. You might see the organization or the job title or whatever. It should look like this is not one of my teammates. It should look a bit different. But I guess if it's internal and it's IT, it still might. You know what I'm saying? How you can look and it tell you who this person is that is contacting you or trying to communicate with you.
Yeah, and I also want to try to probably go back on this. Like whenever I clip it up, I'm gonna try to find some more insight on like, okay, because in Teams I can click on your profile to see what your email address is.
Exactly.
So I definitely would say, okay, who's this person? If you're not sure who they are, because it's like, I don't know. I wish you know what I need. You don't find that suspicious? I need that. I need that sound.
You need that sound
because I don't have it. But you need to figure out, like, okay, who is this person?
Yeah.
You can go see. And then the other thing too, if it's external, that's like a red flag right there. But
unless your job,
I mean, most teams should show you the hierarchy of who they report to.
No, I'm saying unless you might even still see the hierarchy and have questions. I'm just saying if they're like an external partner that's being brought in, it might not match the naming condition or the organization name that you're used to seeing.
Yeah, nah, for real. But if anybody ever dealt with that, like I definitely would love to have them on because I think that'd be pretty interesting. Let's see what the chat is saying. Let me see. I get the training, but what I do is skip to the quiz, screenshot every answer, and mark what was wrong and change the answer on the next try. Pretty much. Let me see. Too many people skip through trainings, especially the HR harassment and discrimination yearly facts. External shows as unknown for our MS Teams org. That's good. That's pretty good. You definitely shouldn't be talking to anybody that's unknown in your environment.
Yep. All right, my go.
Okay.
Check marks, supply chain attack, when the security tool is the threat. So Checkmarks is a security company. Their job is to make tools that help developers find vulnerabilities in their code. One of those tools is called Kix, Keeping Infrastructure as Code Secure, and it has been downloaded over 5 million times from Docker Hub. A threat group called Team PCP has now compromised Checkmarks for the second time in a single month. Let's talk about the timeline. So on March 23rd, this is when the first compromise occurred. Team PCP injected malicious payloads into 2 Checkmarks GitHub action workflows and 2 VS Code extensions via the Open VSX marketplace. Checkmarks identified and patched within hours. April 22nd, second hit, threat actors pushed malicious Docker images directly into Checkmarks' official Kix repository on Docker Hub, overriding legitimate version tags. Checkmarks' official Kix repository on Docker Hub, overriding legitimate version tags. They also introduced a fake version tag, version 2.1.21, version 2.1.21 that didn't exist in any other release. Also on April 22nd, the attack spread further to Bitwarden CLI version 2026 4.0 was compromised through the same GitHub actions vector. Bitwarden has over 10 million users and 50,000 businesses on its platform. The version was live on NPM for roughly 90 minutes before it was actually pulled. 90 minutes is a long time. That's a long time. Oh my God. Okay, so what the malware actually did, the modified KCS binary generated an uncensored scan report. It then encrypted that report and sent it to an attacker controlled server. So why that is particularly devastating is because developers use Kik specifically to scan infrastructure files that contain cloud credentials, SSH keys, tokens, and secrets. The malware didn't steal random data. Obviously, it stole data that it knew was going to be there. It also targeted AI coding tool configuration. So think Claude, Cursor, Codex, CLI, and others. It spread by injecting into their CI/CD pipelines using stolen GitHub tokens. It even had a self-propagating mechanism to infect other NPM packages the victim had access to publish. So one expert described it as, and I'm paraphrasing, once a developer with the compromised Bitwarden CLI installed it, they could become the entry point for a broader compromise across every CI/CD pipeline their token could reach. So what you should do if this happened to you, if you pulled Kiks from Docker Hub recently, treat it as a credential exposure event. Rotate your GitHub tokens, your cloud credentials, your SSH keys, and your CI/CD secrets. Check your GitHub activity for any unfamiliar repositories, especially ones with Doom-themed naming like Gesser Melange. And move to pinned unified versions of any GitHub actions you rely on. Floating references are how the attack was able to actually propagate. Another supply chain attack. Yikes.
Some of like the very important part for me, I had to step away very quickly.
But this was like super sophisticated though. This is a very sophisticated supply chain attack. It's not really, they just broke in. They actually poisoned all of the tools that somebody can use to break in. And that is the bigger issue there. So when you think about the things that we trust is like literally the backbone of our security strategy these days. And identities are just really important to make sure that you have them secured. So if you're starting out, make sure you're familiar with policies and users and things of that sort, because identity is always a great stepping stone to build upon.
Yeah. Funny enough, I told you, I said out of the blue, I got bored and said, I'm gonna get SE 900.
You did.
And I think I just passed the module where he was talking about identities and stuff. This stuff, and
it's very foundational.
Yeah. That's what people. I think I directed somebody else. They should get it too, just because it does. I think it's like whereas like they do have like all cloud providers have their the practitioner, AZ 900, and you have I forgot what the GCP joints is. I don't think they have like a, and I could be wrong, but I don't think AWS got like a foundational security joint. I know they got the security.
like a AZ. Yeah.
What is it? No, it's the SC 900. That's the foundational.
Any 900 is foundational. Yeah.
And I think theirs is the security specialty, but I don't think they have a foundational one. But
I would say though, if you want to get the SC 900, which is the security and compliance, you have to get the AZ 900 first. It does not make sense for you to get the SC 900 and you don't understand Azure. You have to understand like some of the cloud, because that's going to teach you just cloud fundamentals, period. Yeah. So that's just my advice.
Yeah. So I actually want to get into the namesake of like kind of like what inspired the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, let us know in the chat. How do y'all like the thumbnail? Like, well, I'm really buying into using AI to make
I'm with it. I tell him every time, plug it right into a tool and pick it up, flip it and put it in reverse.
What Missy Elliott say? It's your reminiscent friend. Yeah, that's what I thought about. So like I saw this article and it was like the golden era tech industry is dead, leaving. Let me see if we are be able to see it on the screen real quick. Okay, no, we're not. Let me do it the way we need to do it first. There we go. Let's see. The golden era of the tech industry is dead. Put it back on me. On February 10th, 2025, at 7:32 a.m., the dreaded email hit my inbox. After nearly 6 years at Meta as a content strategist, one total company rebrand, and 3 previous mass layoffs, I got the axe. My time was bound to come. I opened, joked darkly that I was a cat with only so many lives left. In 6 weeks, I was scheduled for a 30-day sabbatical to add insult to injury. The company announced the layoffs were due to low performance. Despite years of glowing performance reviews in which I received high praise from my peers and managers and the numerous messages of support from colleagues, it still felt like being kicked to the curb and being called a loser. I went on the offensive and drafted the obligatory LinkedIn post announcing my layoff and saying how very disappointed I was, how I planned to recharge, and yes, I was looking for work. So wouldn't everyone pretty please keep me in mind for open roles? Outwardly, I kept it rosy. Inwardly, I was fuming. It was humiliating. This is a first for me, and I thought I'd seen it all. Harassing a former boss to pay months of back wages while recovering from brains. Whoa. Only to be laid off anyway. It's a formative experience. I had more than a decade of experience in my field and a big tech pedigree that had reliably opened doors for me. I was confident I'd find work again. I always had. Now I'm stopping right here because the role that they're in, I think it's a content strategist. A person like that should have already started working on their own personal brand on a YouTube or TikTok or something else, because that's where they probably going to make their own freelance money at versus relying on companies, because companies are trying to strategize their content with tools like Claude and everything else now. So they don't think they have a use for you. Meanwhile, it's just certain stuff that you have that you can't teach. The 2010s and early 2020s were the golden era of tech. Aggressive hiring, generous salaries, and flowing perks defined the industry. Gourmet meals, LASIK stipend, free therapy. The years since have been a never-ending bloodbath. More than 1.2 million people have been laid off in tech since 2022, according to TrueUp.io. Because these are only the publicly reported layoffs, the number could be higher. Recruiters used to message me weekly, sometimes daily. A few years ago, the options were copious, the outlook optimistic. And after enduring so much job insecurity early on in my career, I thought I had made it. In the past year, though, I applied to at least 100 roles for which I was an excellent fit. 100 in the past year, you ain't applying enough.
100?
Yeah.
100.
That's a third.
In a year?
That means you did apply a third of the days of the year, because it's 365 days.
But to some people that might sound shocking. Y'all, that's not a big number.
Exactly.
That's not a big number at all. It's a little number.
If on the days that he applied to jobs, he just did 2, he would up the number to 200.
Exactly.
I've secured referrals, use AI to customize my resume and cover letter. Which one survey is showing only overwhelmingly and slowing down hiring thanks to nothing? Gemini. Openly shared on social media and simply persisted. I'm a journalist and a writer by trade, so I refocused on nurturing my craft. Last year, I wrote and published a children's book. I started pitching to publications again and picked up activities that proverbially filled my cup. I learned pottery, organized community events, fundraised for mutual aid, and started on neglected home projects. I even finished some of them. Some days, I'm entertaining the idea of opening a business. Laundromats are apparently low risk, high success ventures. I agree. The boring businesses make a lot of money.
Thank you.
Car washes, laundromats, vacuums, anything people always need are always good to do. But that requires more time and energy than I'm willing to sacrifice while raising a young child and entertaining my dreams. But okay, I think that made me want to stop it, because I'm like, your dreams go to the wayside when you got a child. Like, do what you got to do to take care of your child. Talking about being a star potter. But my job prospects have been bleak. I've interviewed for 3 full-time roles and 1 fixed-term contract role in more than a year. I've never felt so unemployable. My story isn't unique. Tech workers across the industry are struggling to regain employment in their fields. Despite relentless searching, experiencing burnout on top of unemployment. People like me, once heavily recruited and flushed with career choices, now can't catch a break. The applications go unanswered, the layoffs keep mounting, and we clamor over the few jobs left, wondering whether we've overstayed the party in Silicon Valley. I applied to hundreds of roles over several months, but the process was extremely slow and led nowhere. Technical recruiter A. Capadilla, Capadilla, there we go, A. Capadilla, who asked that her full name not be disclosed, told me Capadilla was laid off in March 2024 and has held 2 short-lived roles since, supporting herself through paid content creation and side jobs like dog sitting. As a recruiter, I know how competitive things are in this job market. hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants for one job, and hiring has become slow. Knowing this made it so hard for me to stay optimistic. All right. I'm not finna buy the rest of this article because
Let me go. Let me eat. Let me cook.
hang on, Jimmy Cooks. Here you go.
All right. If you're struggling, right, with trying to break into this industry, and you've been trying, and maybe you've been applying to 100 jobs a year, maybe you need to get with a career coach. Maybe you need to get with someone who has a little bit more experience than you. This is not a pitch for myself because I am absolutely not your career coach. I am your author.
Not yet.
However, HD can absolutely provide you with these services. So if you are looking to break in and it's just not been working out with you trying, your methods, your madness, your way, I just think that it's so important for you to get with somebody who already is kind of experienced and they know what the field is looking for. A good career coach is actively aware of what interviews look like today themselves. They're actively aware of, how to become better and what it looks like to reflect on a past interview. And so I just truly believe that if it's not working with you, then maybe you need to bring somebody else in to give you a little bit more assistance, a little bit more perspective, a little bit more advice, a little bit more insight there. So that's just my personal opinion. If I was trying to break in 2026 and I had no help and I have nobody able to, kind of help me understand what's going on, I would reach out to someone that I felt like did. But don't just reach out to anybody, though.
Yeah,
I told y'all who to reach out to.
And while we're on the topic of AI and people using AI to apply, I had a consultation with a guy this week, and he was talking about how he was using AI to whatever tool he was using, and he was making the resumes, and it was like supposed to be ATS friendly and all that. And the resume was, to me, kind of lackluster, just because I can actually show it to you.
But can you explain how to the untrained eye, an AI-driven resume might appear better than what you had, but just because it was better than what you had doesn't mean it's good. It just means it was better than what you had.
Yeah, it was really because if you don't know how to make a resume, putting it in an AI generator thing is not going to help you because you don't know how to prompt it to get whatever results you want out of the resume. And if you're not familiar with what a decent resume looks like, you're not going to know how to do that either. So that's typically what I see out of a lot of people when I see them using those resume tools. Oh man, I wish I could X this thing out. Let me see if I can show on my phone real quick. But it read it was kind of like achievements, but it kind of read like a job description a little bit. So I was just like, you don't got no metrics on here. It's not really showing
your value individually.
And I was like, I think your strategy is off on what you're applying to, because a lot of times what I do now is I will leverage AI in the consultation because I know how to prompt it to show what the person may be missing out on or what they need. And it 9 out of 10 always agrees with a couple of roles with me. And I think they were more of a fit for sales engineer, doing something like a technical project manager or something else. And they just kept on doing the spray and pray method. It wasn't working. And I was like, yeah. And I was telling them about, we didn't really get a chance to even dive into that LinkedIn, because I tell people so many times on how pivotal LinkedIn has helped me be able to get interviews, not even just from emails, literally just reaching out to people and they know what I post about. They watch the content. So I've already established my personal brand.
No, it's facts.
So when I'm only telling you on the call, hey, post more, establish your brand. I don't want you to be a content creator, but people need to know who you are. So if you're trying to get a referral, the days of hey, can you just refer me? I seen y'all was hiring.
If you go to your page and you a stand-up guy, a stand-up woman, you talking that talk, you posting what you're doing. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But also just the other things in the article about being laid off, I definitely felt him on that. The other thing that people aren't saying the quiet part out loud, and we know this, and this is why people in our industry, even though we get laid off, we tend to kind of bounce back. We've known for most of the time from day one that our jobs require us to keep on improving.
1000%.
Technology is changing, so it's making us okay. Now let me learn how to secure AI.
No, and I don't think that if you're not used to working in a career where you have to continuously educate yourself, I don't mean once a year. No, the technology is changing month over month. That is why they have product managers, right? So they can keep building out the tools. So you have to be aware and able to grow with that tool set, whatever tool set it may be, month over month, year over year. If you can start out when a product is fresh, you won.
Yeah.
If you can start playing around with the tool as it first comes out, you won, because you know everything there is to know about that tool before it becomes, oh, it used to do this, this, and this. Now it doesn't. Instead, it does this, this, and this. And so these are things that you won't know if you're not in the field. If you don't know anybody in the field, these are things that you just won't know.
Yeah, for sure. And lastly, he's talking about being a star potter. I'm like, come on, like
A
grow
star
up.
potter.
Yeah, potter, like Potter.
What does that mean?
Like somebody doing pottery. I
Oh.
guess known for your pottery. I'm like, you know, grow up. You got a kid.
You got a kid.
I didn't hear you say, you know, I went and worked at the gas station, or I did, you know, hey. You
Let's
gotta do
talk
what you
about
gotta
that. Let's talk about it. The people that are losing or leaving their tech jobs are sometimes too humble to go accept a job because they feel like it needs to be this. You know, it needs to be up here to this. Help me with the words. It needs to be up
Status?
here. Yes, it needs to be up here to this status. I feel like I need to be at this stature. I won't go take a job at McDonald's. I won't go take a job at Kroger. I won't go take a job at Walmart, at Sam's Club, because I feel like I'm too good. Because I feel like I need a tech job instead of going to go take a job to pay the bills. And now you can't pay your rent, your mortgage, your car note, your car insurance. And now you on LinkedIn telling everybody you about to lose everything because you didn't want to accept the job that was beneath you.
Yeah. They've been saying for years.
The humble don't stumble, baby.
They've been saying for years, winter is coming. So, but while we are actually here, let's get into some more fun stuff of like the degree mills and all those different things. We've been talking about people finishing school super fast, whatever. So we're going to let my girl Khadijah talk about the degree mills real quick.
We believe that degree mills are adding to the anti-intellectual conversation and crisis in which we're seeing. Again, earning a doctorate degree in 1 year is absolutely insane, especially when we're speaking about whether becoming a practitioner or a researcher. The labor and time that it takes to formulate your research question and then go through committees and comps, there's no way that you could do that in 12 months. Additionally, the fast tracking the expert needs to stop. There is this commitment to time on purpose, and you cannot try to shortcut every single thing. That is when harm and error starts to happen.
No, I think she was factual.
Oh, I hate people who want to shortcut everything. Oh, I don't even want to affiliate with them, keep them type of people away from me, because they don't know anything about hard work and they don't value it because they never had to do it because they've cut every freaking corner possible.
Yeah, I think it's just I saw like a lot of different things online. They were talking about the Capellas. They wasn't actually. They weren't talking about WGU before y'all think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but before I had to clarify that, because every time somebody talks about a degree you can finish super fast, whatever, people get their pennies in a bunch of things. We talking about WGU, and it's not always WGU. It was like a lot of different things. I saw like where they were talking about all these degree mills where like they accept probably like 99% of people, and it's a lot of women, and like how it's just really making the level of the degree go down.
It is 1000%. AI is too as well. I mean, we can save that for another day.
Yeah,
because we can go sick in that topic.
And that's where I forgot that article came. I want to say like last week, actually, while I was like streaming, and people were finishing their coursework like super fast. And so the thing is this coursework that you need for your role, or is it just because?
I was just gonna say some of it you don't need for your role.
Yeah, because I did that webinar and I was talking about how I don't like that when I go to school, I got to take all these classes I just took in high school again. Give me the stuff I'm gonna need to know
History,
to do my job.
art.
British lit, English lit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need none of that stuff no more. Give me the stuff that's gonna be relevant to me at work. Give me a corporate etiquette class. Give me another corporate email class.
A resume building class.
But see, they have those, but they don't be hitting the same because it's always some people that's like used to making resumes 30 years ago where they got you putting your address
They
on a resume.
absolutely were making resumes 30 years ago.
They was mailing them. That's why people addresses on it. They was mailing them.
1000%. The best thing that a new university right now could do for that class is to hire a modern day career coach.
They can hire
in that field. Come on, Leander.
Yeah, they can hire RightC. So if y'all need that, work with RightC in your university.
Yeah.
They really have helped a lot of graduates get roles just based on the analytics that they can get from job applications and everything else. But yeah, I think so. That's the conundrum. Like, do they seem to work as valuable as what they're doing, and is it actually valuable, or just some BS to pay tenure to some professors who only need to teach the kids that want to go into English and stuff like that? Because truth be told, we've probably seen a decline in the humanities because of how technology has changed everything.
I can't give a true thought on that because everything that I consume is really tech focused for the most part. So
you think so?
Yeah,
I consume a lot of different stuff.
My stuff is mostly tech stuff. People that are in school.
Okay.
I don't know a lot of other folks in other genres. I said genres.
Right.
That's not a good word.
Let's see. And then so this other one I thought about was the whole degree debate, right? And then so she was talking about degrees in class.
Degrees are signals of skill, but increasingly they're really becoming signals of class. And that's a much more uncomfortable conversation to have, I think, because yes, degrees still represent knowledge, but they also kind of like represent something else. They represent time, they represent money, they represent stability, they represent support. Think of like what it actually takes to finish a degree. You need financial ability to stay enrolled. You need enough stability in your life to show up consistently. You need access to guidance, whether that's professors, advisors, or parents who understand the system. Students whose parents went to college already know how to navigate office hours and internships and networking and, course selection. I am a college professor. My daughter will be equipped with lots of knowledge when she goes to college, if she goes to college. Other students are trying to figure all of that out from scratch. So when you see someone with a degree, you're not just seeing intelligence or skill. You're seeing that they had enough structure around them to persist through the system that kind of like quietly rewards people who already understand it. That doesn't mean degrees don't matter as somebody with multiple degrees, right? Absolutely they do, but we need to stop pretending that they are pure measures of merit because they're just not. The reality is that a degree signals not just what you know, but the conditions you had access to while learning all of that stuff.
I agree. And if we go into the class thing, let's talk about how you rank, the STEAM degrees. You got your lawyers, your doctors, your engineers. Then you get like the people with the super cool molecular microbiologist type stuff. Then you get into the esteemed universities or top 50. Then you got your Ivy Leagues and all this different stuff where people do use it as a class thing. This goes back into when people were arguing last year about money in class and how like they're not tied to each other, but most of the time they kind of are.
I'm gonna say if I know that somebody got a doctorate degree, I am 1000% sure not going to assume that they are low income. I'm not. It's not necessarily that I'm gonna assume that they're, at the highest income level, but I'm gonna assume that they are spending some money to invest in their education. So I can absolutely see the correlation and the relationship between degree and quote unquote class. And if that's all you have, if you're not exposed to anything else and you're more blue collar worker, that might be something that's hard for you to understand.
Yeah, so I did a quick search and it said people with doctorates, PhDs in the U.S. earn an average salary often exceeding $100,000 through $120,000. Though this varies heavily by the field, industry, position, et cetera, frequently paying over $130,000, while academic roles often start lower, $75,000 through $95K. Top earners can make over $200,000, while others, particularly early career academics, may start closer to $80,000. And if you get into the tax brackets, that's the working class and all the other cool stuff. But yeah, and that's the interesting thing now. I actually am glad that my kids do decide to go to school, they will not be first gen graduates.
Cause you already did the muscle work and the hard work. It is hard. If you are first gen, you know it is hard out here, honey.
Right.
It is hard. Even from the smallest things, that I cite this paper right, that I cite this resource right. You know, am I emailing my emailing my professor the right way? You know, it's so many nuances that you just don't think about, that you don't like. You just have to be kind of thrown to the wolves to figure it out.
You want to talk about citing papers? My first like
what was your style in college? Most of mine were APA.
So I had to write. You know what's funny?
I went from straight MLA to only APA.
So it's the opposite. My fine arts teacher really prepared us for college. She made us write our stuff APA format. Her and there's another teacher, but I didn't have to write a lot of papers in high school. Wish I had to, because I felt like I didn't need to source anything if I didn't use it in my.
That's so black of you.
No, if I didn't use it in my writing. I didn't. So for example, I had this paper. I probably can find it right now on my drive. Well, it was like our video game is good for you. So everything I wrote was really
they're good for
ping
you.
and paste.
Yeah.
And I brought up how like initially there was no ratings like Mortal Kombat, ESRB, and then they came in and said mature teen, all the other stuff. But I didn't really have to cite nothing.
Why not?
That
didn't come from your head.
I was going through life experiences, but that's not like a site was like if I use something verbatim.
It doesn't have to be verbatim. It's the knowledge that you gain from that source.
Back then, though,
yeah,
it was like if I need to cite.
No, like if you're doing a quote. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't no quote.
That was my favorite. When it came to writing a paper in college, I used to always open up my papers with a quote to answer the question, whatever the paper was about. I would be like, well, let's just say the paper was about like, you know, is McDonald's good for you? I would open up the paper with a quote on why McDonald's is good for you, or how many people have consumed McDonald's, or something insane. Like that's the
I learned to write better in corporate than I did in college.
Nah, I had a professor in college. I thought I was a good writer, and so I got a paper back from her, and she was like, "You're not a good writer."
No, what's funny? What pissed me off was like, my cousin that wrote a couple books at times, so he reviewed my paper. He liked it. My teacher didn't. But the thing was, if you can see that, hey, this person is trying, let them redo it. Like I got like
she did let me redo it. Clock that.
She knew she was wrong. She seen me in the hallway and looked, and she didn't want to even come near me. And she walked the other way. That's how, like, she's the reason why I started off college like so bad. She gave me a bad grade in English, and I'm like, look, I'm expecting you.
Did you take a 098 class?
She was a new teacher.
No, did you take 098 math?
No.
Or English? Because you were smart. Well, for y'all who did, me too. I took a.
No, it wasn't because I was smart. I think my ACT wasn't super high. Like,
I think I took a 098. I didn't have to take that class, but I know that math was a struggle for me, so I chose to take it because it had like 3 hours a week built in for tutoring. And after I took that, then I was good to go to the next math class or whatever. But I did start lower on that lens. Are your eyes dry?
I don't know what they is. I know, that's why I switched the camera to you. I was like, man, what's going on with his eyes?
Why you
What's this?
Some eye drops.
He say dry contacts.
They're just rereading drops. They're fine.
Let's see.
Yeah. Just to kind of give you a little juice there. But I did take that class. If you have to take those classes in college, don't feel bad about it. Take the coursework. It'll help prepare you to take the actual class itself and put you on a better predicament than if you would have started off doing something that was more advanced than what your skill set could actually handle. Because I knew for a fact coming in that me and math were not going to get along, that well. And so I was like, well, whatever I can supplement it, if it's 3 hours a week, so be it. And it was just like an hour built into each class. I want to say it was like an hour you can come an hour before class starts and you can redo whatever or ask questions. And we had a great time.
Yeah, like I think I started off with the good maths. I didn't have to retake anything. I had to retake one because I didn't have my financial aid squared away the first quarter.
Let's talk. We need to talk about that. Let's go ahead put it on the next week's docket. Financial aid and all the challenges.
Let's talk about black people always carrying kids on taxes and stuff. We had to redo taxes, and that kind of stopped me from getting everything. So I was only able to start school because of since you have tops, we're going to let you stay here. But if your stuff isn't finished by this time, we're going to make you come back next quarter. So that's what made my first quarter so rough. I had a bad computer, learning I would say.
Like, what do you
if
mean?
you had not-
No, what do you mean by bad computer?
I had an Acer that was very slow.
Okay.
It had a bad sound card. I had to plug an external sound card into it. The typing was bad. It loaded up slow.
So it was just not a good.
It got me through school though. But we did have a computer lab. But back then,
You used that for 4 years.
I wasn't 3.
3.
I did 3 and a quarter. I went in September 2010 and graduated in November 2013. But back then I wasn't keen on like Google Docs had just got hot. Like we just started using Google Docs and stuff like that. But it was just so much stuff I wasn't prepared for because it had been years since my mom and I went to school.
I mean, you need a license.
Semesters.
You need a license, and you need to even figure out if you can get a license for free. I figured that out my freshman year. Was that 9 times out of 10, your university has a way for you to get a free Microsoft license for a year.
Yeah.
At least 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, so I got that, and then it was just that. I think by the time the end of sophomore to junior year, I finally figured out my stride. It just was a lot. It was so hard to come back from doing bad in like some of my classes. Like I had lost my top scholarship for the people in Louisiana. That's where like TOPS pay for your tuition. So I lost that, and my homie Joey was like, "Hey, fool, once you lose that TOPS, you'll never get it back." He wasn't lying. I did not get TOPS back, and I had to take a couple of easy classes. So I took Reading 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Reading 200 was so easy. I told my little brother, and this is also important, parents
And siblings.
or kids, but this is really for the parents. Your child don't know what they don't know yet because they're a child. So what they think they want to do, sometimes they may hate you for it in the beginning, but go with your move and say, hey, I know you want to go to this school. Go to this school close by the house first. You do good here, then we can transfer to there. My baby brother went to tech, and out of all my siblings, I feel like he was the person that probably wasn't supposed to go out to school first. He didn't really do good there that first year. It's not necessarily hard, but it's all of us did 9 weeks in school most of the time. So in the quarter system, it's kind of like you had the 9 weeks every quarter. So your classes are a little longer, and you're having them like, sometimes like 3 times a week. You had like Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, then your Tuesday, Thursday classes are super long. Like it's a lot to take in, especially if you may have some undiagnosed issues or don't know what's going on. Like with me, I already knew back then stuff like geology, please. I had my Motorola Droid at the time. I made it start recording, and I go to sleep. Back then, I'm like, I'm gonna listen back to the lecture, never listen back to it. Now, in today's time, I could throw that bad boy in Loom or something else, transcribe it, break down what it was about. I would pass. So y'all can use AITI Advantage because the teachers, they don't care about, look, they getting paid regardless where you sleep or stay up. So that was like some of the stuff I kind of had to deal with. And you can say it's immature, but don't make me take a class I don't want to take. Yeah. Sociology was a fun class though.
But I went to a liberal arts school. So that means that you have to take classes in all of these different areas in order to get your degree. Some schools are not like that. But my school was like, yeah, girl, you're going to take an art class. You're going to take an English class. You're going to take a history class. And I did.
Yeah, I had to take all of them. I had to take political science.
Yeah, I didn't take it that far.
Sociology.
I took geology. Why on God's green earth would somebody like me take geology?
I had to take world history too.
I'd rather do that.
I took world history. I didn't have to take, I had to take, what helped me out too by speaking? I think everybody should have to take a speech class.
We had a speech lab, which helped. I didn't have to take a speech class because I could just go to the speech lab and do some similar,
We had to do one where she's like, okay, script your thing out. Your speech is going to be for like 1 or 2 minutes, and you have to practice, and you have to go there and do your speech.
I had theater too in high school, and I did a monologue.
Yeah, so I was in fine art, so I didn't have to take another type of arts type of class in college because I tested out because it was dual enrollment. So I had that, and I had to do.
Oh, you was a dual enrollment type of dude.
I only had 2 dual enrollment.
But even if you only had 1, you ate down. I never had one.
My little sister is going to go into college like a sophomore or a junior. What are y'all over there doing? It's just over there doing stuff. But yeah, she got so many credits right now. Like, and she clearly is the smartest in the family. She got the highest ACT. She's going to get an academic scholarship. She's probably going to get TOPS, and hopefully she applies to get some other ones. Because she's 18. I'm telling her, hey, apply to all these other schools. See who's going to give you the most money. But she want to go to wherever her friends say. I'm like, all right. Just remember, think about what you got to do after that bachelor's, because you're probably going to have to get a master's or a doctorate to do what you're going to do.
That part.
You want to go to wherever you're going to owe the least amount of money. And that's what I told her. And, after I can only tell you, I can't make you do nothing. I cannot make you do nothing.
Michael?
Mm-hmm.
London's Met Police used AI to investigate its own officers, and it worked. The Metropolitan Police in London, Britain's largest police force, ran a week-long AI pilot using a tool built by Palantir Technologies. They used it internally, analyzing data already in their possession: sickness records, overtime, expenses, building access logs, public complaints. The goal was to find misconduct inside the force itself, and what they found was significant. Say it.
Significant.
What did I say? The numbers. 3 officers arrested on charges including abuse of authority for sexual purposes, fraud, sexual assault, and misuse of police systems. 2 officers suspended, served with notices of investigation for gross misconduct. 98 officers being assessed for abusing the shift rostering systems for personal or financial gain. 500 officers received preventative notices for similar occurrences. 12 officers under investigation for failing to disclose Freemason membership. 13 additional officers flagged for suspicious behavior, currently unconfirmed. The commissioner, Sir Mark Raleigh, is now considering expanding this to criminal investigations using AI to flag crime patterns, dangerous predators, and high-risk offenders. So obviously this story is not simple. On one side, we have AI doing exactly what they wanted it to do. It surfaced some instances of corruption that maybe have been hiding in plain sight within that particular organization. Senior officers were fired, filing false overtime, gaming leave systems, lying about working from home, 3 arrests for serious crimes. So obviously, there's a ton of accountability there. But on the other side, we have Palantir, a deeply controversial company. They have contracts with ICE, the U.S. military, and the Israeli military. Over 200,000 people in the UK have signed petitions calling on the government to cut ties with them. British MPs this week called for a review of the Met's Palantir contracts after Palantir published a manifesto that some described as, and I'm quoting the British MP here, the ramblings of a super villain. The Police Federation, which represents rank and file officers, called the AI approach automated suspicion and warned that systems could misinterpret workload pressures or sicknesses as wrongdoing. So think about this. What happens when the model makes a mistake and a good officer's career is damaged? That's kind of sad. I mean, we know we got AI for good, we got AI for bad, and this is just kind of a real good reflection of that type of scenario or situation. I don't know. I just think AI can do a lot of good and it can do a lot of harm to us.
Yeah. It reminds me of what that is. Romeo Must Die. But DMX say guns don't kill people. Stupid people with guns kill people. That's the territory we're getting into with the AI and all the other stupid stuff that we're going into with them. Let's see. We had that. I think. Let me get into this. I think this is more interesting because I think it affects a lot more people, just from if they got kids or not. Where is it?
We got the same one.
No, this right here. Your favorite topic.
Roblox is launching Roblox Kids. Basically, anyone 9 years old and under will be put in the Roblox Kids section, which will limit what games you can play on the platform, as well as disable all communication by default. Also, your Roblox app will be blue for some reason. No, any teenagers on Roblox will be put in the new Roblox Select category, which also will limit what games you have access to, as well as limit who you can communicate with. And your Roblox will say Roblox Select at the top to let everyone know you're in that group. Now, this is important. Anyone who doesn't do age verification on Roblox will automatically be put in Roblox Kids. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. So Roblox,
I like that. I like the ending. But, see, you saw my face change. I was not feeling it till we got to the end because you can lie about your age. Even still, you can still lie about your age. You can still lie and say I'm 19. You can put in the date of birth to say that you're 19. I just think y'all should get y'all kids off of Roblox. If you really knew what be going on, just hear me out. Get your babies off of there.
Yeah, and
I don't care if they're mad. I don't care.
And we talked about it last week about the cyber criminals on there offering crypto Robux.
Yeah. And you gotta think about it. If your kid come to you and they ask you for some Robux and you say no, and then all of a sudden they've been on the game all day and they happy and they got some, it didn't come from you. Who did it come from? And why are you gifting my child money?
What you won't do, somebody else will.
That part.
So, but no, I mean, but what system are they using for age verification?
Probably a question.
I don't think it's a question. It's probably some AI
I don't think
tool
it's
to
a
determine
tool.
how young you look.
No, because we talked about Discord is now doing that. We never talked about Roblox.
It's a
doing
lot
that.
of it's a lot of sites online that people, women and men, should know about where you got to use some age
I've
verification.
used Roblox and it didn't ask me no questions like that. I have it downloaded
As a grown person, why are you on Roblox?
to see what the kids is doing because I talk about it.
No,
so
not
much.
you.
Oh, I'm like, I'm not
I'm
playing
talking about a
them
person
games.
that's actually, hey
But-
man, you want to come back to the virtual crib, like all that type of stuff. Like,
Yeah. I didn't enjoy it because it was very childish to me. Like when my first instinct was this is for kids, even though it's not for kids.
yeah, my siblings played it like, well, I think my sister and them still be playing like Roblox or whatever, but like that was past my time. Like I always look at Caleb and them like, bro, what are y'all doing? And Caleb like, man, I'm playing Roblox. But you know, they born in 2005, 2004. So it was around that time for them. But for me, nah. I mean, I barely played online game. Like that's the thing people know. Like
we didn't play a lot of online games. We chatted online, but we didn't play a lot of online games as teenagers, as kids growing up. And no, let me tell you that.
I'm from the era.
We played games online, but we were not playing against other players online, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm from the era where you brought your controller over to somebody else's house and y'all got active. I want you to beat me face to face. I'm from that era. Because there'd be so many glitches and cheats that people be doing online. No. But the only game I consistently play online right now is Brawlhalla. And I may do that one day. I may have like a Brawlhalla in tech like type of stream where
we should just have a stream. Maybe they want to watch me play a cozy game.
Like South of Midnight that you never finished.
That's not really cozy, but
it is cozy.
No, it's not.
It is.
If you don't know what you're doing, you will be lost for
you
days.
They have a mode where it's just strictly story mode where you don't have to do no fighting or nothing.
Yeah. It be trying to get up on equip. You know, I'm a little remedial with the movement on the Xbox. My player be like,
I think they got it on PlayStation now.
They do?
I think so. That's the same thing. I kind of briefly want to talk about, I just might mention it because I don't think I'm gonna go through the whole thing, but ADT was breached and I thought that was funny.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it.
I like it because they chose to outsource their IT and networking and everything. So I like it. It was like, hey,
tell us more. And
if it wasn't broke, don't fix it.
it.
That's literally what all they had to do with that. And I didn't read a lot into there's a report that says, let's do that one. The one I'm going to do is the surveillance for the cars, and then we'll react to some more stuff that may be pressing. Because I thought that was pretty interesting. Where are we? I think we're right here. Okay, so your next car will watch you. The government said so. This one has been set in federal law since 2021, and most people have no idea. Section 24220 of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act requires the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, to finalize rules mandating advanced impaired driving prevention technology in all new passenger vehicles. The target window is late 2026 to 2027. Here's what that technology actually does. Infrared cameras mounted on your steering column or A-pillar will track your eye movement, pupil dilation, and drowsiness patterns in real time. Passive breath sensors will monitor your blood alcohol concentration without you blowing into anything. If the system determines you are impaired, blood alcohol at or above 0.08 or significant fatigue, it can prevent the car from starting or limit your speed while driving. Now, a lot of cars don't go into the part where it stops you from the car from starting, but you do have, what car was that I had? Was it my Accord or the car now? I had a car where it was like, hey, you took your eyes too many times off the road. You need to get together.
Yeah, no,
or you need to take a break.
No, my car will say it's time to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to take a break. No, I think it's like a coffee break or something like that.
It says that. So it kind of does all this stuff now. But I wonder, like, is this one of the things where the data from what's going on with you going to be used in court and everything else? So let's see. The government's argument is not nothing. Drunk driving killed approximately 13,000 people in the U.S. in 2023 alone. Nearly a third of all traffic deaths that year Alcohol-related crashes cost the American economy roughly $280 billion annually in medical expenses, legal costs, and lost productivity. NHTSA estimates this technology could prevent between 9,000 and 10,000 deaths per year. That's a real number. Mothers Against Drunk Driving has been lobbying for this since 2015. The safety rationale for the core function is legitimate. The problem is everything around it. The privacy problem. These systems don't just observe, they build a biometric profile of how you drive, your eyes, your alertness, your patterns, your behavior over time. And here's the critical gap in the law. No federal requirement exists mandating how automakers store, share, or delete this data. And that's what I was getting at before even reading it. The law does not prohibit manufacturers from uploading your biometric driving data to corporate servers. It does not stop them from sharing the data with insurance companies to adjust your premiums. It does not prevent that data from being subpoenaed in legal proceedings that have nothing to do with drunk driving. The Center for Democracy and Technology has filed formal comments urging NHTSA to impose strict limits on data collection. No such protections have been finalized because these systems are expected to be software integrated. Manufacturers could update their monitoring capabilities through over-the-air patches after you already bought the car. What this actually says: NHTA missed this original November 2024 deadline. As of early 2026, the rule is still in the public comment and stakeholder review phase. Automakers have pushed back, citing false positives rates. NHTA's own report to Congress acknowledged the detection error rate around the legal limit would be unacceptably high given the volumes of driving that happens in the U.S. Where are we at? The Trump administration deregulation posture adds additional uncertainty about whether this moves forward at all or gets quietly shelved. Bills in Congress could repeal the mandate, but experts note that once a technology like this gets into market, pulling it back is historically very difficult. The current vehicle you own is not affected, but if you're shopping for a 2027 model, this is part of the deal. So I'm not against keeping drunk drivers off the road. I'm very much against a system that builds a biometric profile of every single American driver, stores it in a corporate server with zero federal data protection requirements, and can be updated remotely to do more after you buy the car. Save the 9,000 lives, absolutely, but write the data protection rules before you mandate the hardware, not after. And yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with them figuring that out, because drunk driving does kill like a lot of people.
It definitely does. And I think that there also, you have like the insurance companies who are like, if you put this thing in your car, we'll monitor how you drive for this period, and we may be able to lower your rate. So you have to think about things like that. Just like he said, they can be used against you. I also heard someone say that the Oura Ring could also be used against you as well. If you're in a car accident and they find out you had it on, they might try to get the data from that watch, or Lord, from the ring, to tell the insurance company kind of what was going on with you physically. I can't get my words right today.
Nobody can.
What is going on? I got one more.
Okay.
AI deepfakes in school. This is a global crisis. So Wired and Indicator just published an investigation that I need everybody to listen to. So they documented deepfake sexual abuse incidents at nearly 90 schools across 28 countries, impacting more than 600 students. And those are the only documented, publicly reported cases. Researchers believe the real numbers are significantly higher. Here's how it happens. We have someone that downloads a regular photo of a classmate, and from Instagram or Snapchat, for example, they run it through a Nudify app. Nudify apps are AI-powered tools that are widely available, often free, and in many jurisdictions operate in legal gray zones. The app will then generate a fake nude image that will be shared in a group chat within hours, and it's spread across the school. Now, the scale of this type of occurrence, nearly 30 reported cases in North America since 2023, including one case involving over 60 alleged victims, more than 20 cases across Europe, more than 10 in South America, over a dozen in Australia and East Asia combined. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported AI-generated child sexual abuse images surged from 4,700 in 2023 to 67,000 in 2024 to 440,000 in 2025. UNICEF estimates roughly 1.2 million children had sexual deepfakes created of them last year alone. These images, when they depicted minors, are legally classified as child sexual abuse material. which is obviously going to be the law there. So why schools are unprepared. Schools are managing a 2026 crisis with 2020 policies. Traditional cyberbullying protocols were not designed for synthetic media that can be created without a victim ever having taken or shared a compromising photo. Law enforcement faces jurisdictional gaps. If a student in Texas creates a deepfake using servers in Eastern Europe, who prosecutes? The trauma obviously here is going to be permanent for the victim. Victims describing behaviors such as they're stopping to eat, they're constantly crying, they're being unable to return to school. And one victim representative says she knows these images will likely reach predators and she will have to monitor the internet for the rest of her life, which is not a temporary harm. That's a life sentence for something that this person never participated in. So the Take It Down Act now requires tech platforms to remove non-consensual intimate images within 48 hours. That's a long time, but fine. Over half of U.S. states have passed laws addressing AI-generated fake intimate images. The UK and EU are moving to ban notification apps outright. In March 2026, 2 Pennsylvania students admitted guilt on some related felony charges for creating images of 60 girls. Some schools in South Korea and Australia have stopped posting student photos publicly and made yearbook photos opt-in. I kind of like that idea of that. That 10 out of 10, chef's kiss. But I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of folks have kids that are online. They have god kids that are online, cousins, nieces, nephews, younger people in your community that are offline. And it's so important that you are making sure that you understand the risks that are associated with your babies being online and that you are kind of also in their business. There is no privacy when you're a child with a device. There's none at all. None. No privacy whatsoever. I can go. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, make sure you're watching your kids online and you never know what is going to happen. Keep that top of mind. We good? You want me to go? I got you. And HG's coming back to take over for us here shortly.
She's gonna do that. Let's see. All right. And since she went away, let me cover this ADT thing real quick. So ADT got breached again by a phone call. ADT is the largest home security company in the United States by revenue. They hold roughly 41% of the U.S. residential security market. Their entire brand proposition is that they protect you, and they just confirmed a data breach. On April 20th, 2026, ADT detected unauthorized access to its customer and prospective customer data. They disclosed this breach via an SEC Form 8K filing on April 24th after the hacking group Shiny Hunters posted a threat on their dark web leak site. The message was direct. Over 10 million records containing PII and other internal corporate data have been compromised. Pay or leak. This is a final warning to reach out by April 27th, 2026. ADT says the breach was limited to names, phone numbers, and addresses, with a small subset of records also containing dates of birth and the last 4 digits of social security numbers or tax IDs. The company says no payment information was accessed and customer home security systems were not compromised. They have contacted affected individuals and are offering identity protection services. Shiny Hunters tells a different story. They claim they stole over 10 million records, customer data, internal corporate data, information on over 1,500 external users, and 120 employees. The gap between ADT's characterization and the attacker claim is notable. We don't yet know whose account of the scope is accurate. So how it happened? Shiny Hunters told Bleeping Computer they breached ADT through a phishing attack, voice phishing. Someone called an ADT employee impersonating a legitimate party and convinced the employee to hand over their Okta single sign-on credentials. Once inside that SSO account, the attackers accessed ADT's Salesforce instance and exfiltrated the data. Now, this is crazy. Now, what I do know from ADT, they did outsource their IT and their networking. So somebody fell for this, and this is bad. if you're going to be a company that is securing people's homes and their safety, you need to invest that on the other side with their help desk and security personnel. Shiny Hunters has been running the playbook extensively since last year, targeting employee and BPO agent SSO accounts at Microsoft, Intra, Okta, and Google platforms, then pivoting into connected SaaS applications, Salesforce, Microsoft 365, Slack, Zendesk, Dropbox, and others. This is not a zero-day exploit. This is not a sophisticated nation state. This is not a sophisticated nation state attack. This is a phone call. Someone called and said the right things and walked on in. The pattern ADT cannot ignore. This is the third ADT data breach in less than 2 years. August 2024, they had a breach. October 2024, they had a breach. Now, April 2026, they have a breach. At some point, the conversation stops being about the attackers and starts being about whether ADT has fundamentally addressed the vulnerability that keeps getting exploited. If you're an ADT customer, assume your name, phone number, and address are in circulation. Monitor your accounts for social engineering attempts and phishing. If your date of birth or last four of your social security number were included and you won't necessarily know, place a credit freeze. And with the 3 major bureaus, that's free. And it's the most effective protection you have. And y'all already know what I like to do or play when things like this happen. Let me go to my media asset. Where are we? Here we go. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to detect and alert you to potential identity theft. They give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. You can go to my link right now, aura.com/textual chatter, to try 14 days for free. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. I highly recommend you do this right now because not only is the national public data not going to do anything to help you, they probably aren't even going to face any repercussions for this leak. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. If you don't want either, you can go to aura.com/textual chatter to try 2 weeks for free. Now back to the video. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to detect and alert you to potential identity theft. All right, sorry about that. But so Shorty, pretty much what happened was they was notating in ADT breach that they pretty much been breached 3 times in the last 2 years, that they pretty much had somebody get vished to pretty much hand over someone's Okta SSO information with the credentials. No, it's just probably impersonating a regular employee.
Mm-hmm.
And they got them to get the Okta information, and they were able to log in, take the Salesforce instance, and extract the data. So it's like the third time it's happened. Like I said, I'm not surprised. This is always going to happen.
When I think about home security, that's who I think about them in breaks. So like, who are the other big dogs?
So you got
and I mean like legitimate.
Well, you got Ring now. You got.
Are they legitimate?
Nest. Ring is owned by Amazon. Yeah. So Ring.
No, I mean like do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're legitimate.
Yeah.
They probably are better than ADT and Brinks, to be honest.
Really?
Probably.
Ring.
Those digital doorbells are good.
I
get that, and then
it's just been all the stuff with people, just cameras, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
You got the stuff where you put by your windows in case somebody try to come through the window and all that.
I like the
stuff.
Sensors though.
Yeah. So I mean that you got smaller companies. So I don't know. Do you think
the smaller companies are going to take heed?
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't matter the size of the company. Anybody can have a security issue.
No, absolutely. Now I think like one thing I want to get into, and it's crazy because Cybershortieee actually dropped a 4th video in this saga, or do I want to go over something that I felt like was really stupid that people were like, that can clip up? Okay. I felt this was not stupid by Anthony O'Neill, but it wasn't a nuanced enough take.
You want a high six figure job. You know why? Because the requirements that come with that, the expectations that comes with that. No company is going to pay you 6 figures and not have any high expectation. But once you start making above 6 figures, the expectations are higher. You are reachable at all times. times. And I've been there to where I was making a $2, $3, $4, $500,000 a year. And there was no, don't call me on the weekends. Like, wait a minute, I pay you too much to not call you on the weekends. If I had to find a job to where like, okay, pay me $100,000, 90, 100,000, but also give me, you know what I'm saying, a month off every single year, give me some reimbursements, give me a good 401k match, etc. I would love that. You know why? Because they're paying me to focus on or to build my side business. So that way, if I ever were to resign, they paid me some of my time to build my business.
I didn't like it.
I feel like he was all over the place, and
I didn't like
I don't
it.
think it landed the way he thought it
It did not land
was.
for me at all.
Because I'm like, everybody who's making that money not going to have a side business. That may be enough for them to make $100,000. And if you're making $500,000 working for somebody else, they probably totally fine with being available all the time. People be available all the time for less.
I was just about to say the same thing. Don't let you. I'm not even going to name the fields, but yes, there are so many ways where you can make less money and you be on round the clock. Start with being a CNA. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
we can start right there.
So yeah, I mean, on call, you
is on call
less, like
for every
24
day,
by
every
7,
week.
knock, sock, all the type of stuff. I'm like, somebody would gladly take that $500,000 in the economy we in to be available. What you need? All right, I'm on the way. Ain't like you said you was on call doing construction and you finna go pour a ditch or climb a telegram pole.
A lot of jobs do have some on-call component, or you might have a flex day. On-call or flex days.
That's funny. He's saying that after collecting multiple years off that Ramsey salary. Exactly. Like the job, like if you want to be totally honest, and I'm with my blue collar people right here, the job you was doing wasn't that hard anyway. It wasn't. You able to sit up straight and make videos now and you built your business and content out. Yeah, I already know. Like everybody, the thing is, everybody is not going to build a business. Everybody ain't meant to build no business. That is the guy. I was going to say Jalen Ramsey, but Gordon Ramsay. It's not
Gordon Ramsay.
It's not Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, I know Gordon, but you said it's not them.
Or is it? It's not. It's So you know the guy, the white guy that's always talking about like no debt and finances and stuff like that. That dude. It's him. It's him. Let's see. We had some other funny ones. I thought this was pretty funny. I meant to play this earlier.
It's just white phrases, but in reverse. White folks, you got the wrong one. Black folks, you got the right one today. Oh, you got the right one today. White folks, don't you ever say that again. Black folks, say it again.
Yeah, facts.
White folks, shut up. Black folks, keep talking.
I get it. Keep talking, I'm gonna show you something.
White folks, that's hot. Black folks, that's cold.
Yeah.
White folks, let's roll. Black folks, let's bounce.
Yeah.
White folks, I hope he doesn't. Black folks, I wish he would.
Yeah, rags.
White people, I can't believe you did that. Black people, I know you didn't. White folks, don't do that. Black folks, do it again. White folks, he passed away, laid to rest. Black folks, he woke up dead. Come into the Lord. White folks, don't start. Black folks, keep on.
Start something.
Black folks, slow down. Black folks, hold up.
Hold up, yeah.
I thought that was funny. It was another one that some white guy said, hey, y'all, our grammar is basic according to black people. And
I didn't like that. We don't
all
even
right.
say bounce.
I'm finna ask the chat. All right, chat. Let's say you at work and this happens. What you doing?
I be stunting you like glue, baby. Wanna spend it all on you, baby. My room is the cheap spot. Call me Mr. Flintstone.
It was funny. I was listening to this song and I really just realized he said my room was the G spot.
Yeah.
But back then,
We was the same
and
thing.
the house spot, I didn't know what the G spot was. All right, what was your favorite BedRock verse? I know what yours
Okay,
was.
I get it. Let me think. I guess this my
Them was some of the most
turn.
out of everybody. Them was some of the most horrible verses ever.
Ever.
Press me down like button downs on a Friday night. That's what she said.
Hold on, let me think.
Gutter, y'all see me with a no Stevie
His
Wonder.
was the worst.
And you know
They
what?
could've
Nah,
took
Gutter
him off.
really had the best verse.
Nah.
And you know I got a
No
grocery
Stevie.
bag.
Wait, I thought it was no Stevie Wonder.
I already said no Stevie Wonder. He
Wait,
said,
no,
you know, I
grocery
got
bag.
a-
What happened after that? What's happened?
No, he said, I'm leaving with a grocery bag. He said something like that. Tiger actually
And
had
you
the best
know
verse.
I got a grocery bag.
Take this photo if you for me.
I'm gonna look up the lyrics because
I'm too
we
loyal.
acting
Yeah,
old.
I'm too loyal. I'm too focused. to be losing and be hopeless. Yeah,
I'm looking up the lyrics.
Tiger had the best verse.
Okay, let's go.
Tiger, and this is coming from a Drake fan. Tiger had the best verse.
Okay, so I'm gonna also go and say I did like to hear I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave. That ate down too.
You know, it's two different.
That was
versions.
a good.
So look,
that was a good caption.
what everybody don't know
Caption.
is. So watch this. I'm finna put everybody on game. What y'all don't know is, well, the young people may know. There's a version of this with Omarion instead of Lloyd.
There was what? Wait, huh?
There's a version of this with Omarion instead of Lloyd. It's not called BedRock. It's called Girl You Know.
I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm. That you better. I actually like the hook better. Now, if Lloyd would have sang that hook, it's much better because BedRock is a stupid hook to me. Girl, you know, like trust me, type in Omarion, girl, you know.
Oh, and I got her grocery bags.
Yeah.
That was a verse still. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for Iceman. I'm definitely ready for Bobby Drake, the Iceman. Van Lathan had a good breakdown of Iceman actually transforming from some stuff that happened to him to where he became untouchable. Exactly. See, girl, you know what's better. I'm telling you, I'll let you hear after this.
I can't. What is in the comments?
Girl, you know it's actually better. I promise you, I like that version better. It's just like, so for example,
So it's like Shorty, look at my remember there's two remixes. There's one with
Webby.
There's one no. There's one with Trey
Plies.
Songz. There's one with Trey Songz, and then there's one with Neo.
I never heard that.
You never heard the one with Trey Songz? Busted Baby?
Oh, Busted Baby. I'm not familiar with what you're
Busted
talking about.
Baby.
But so here's another one. So everybody knows Drake got the song "Miss Me." Tell me what's really going on. What's happening? Before it was called "Miss Me," it was called "All Night Long," and that hook is better than "Miss Me" too. But I think "Miss Me" made sense because Wayne was gonna get locked up. Like I said, this is stuff, you know what I'm saying, old head, OG stuff.
I do have one more topic.
Oh, what was it?
Mr. Book.
Okay, go ahead.
Y'all, go get the book. Get the book. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to get the book. I promise you, the book is tea. The book is juicy. The book is good. I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't make this up. If you want to take a read and give me a review, let me know. Pull up on Cybershortieee. Pull up on me. The book signing will be in June. Dates coming soon. So if you are one of our friends that is local to the DFW area, you'll be getting an invite. And if you're not, HD said we're going to do a giveaway. So stay tuned for more details about that. But the book is tea. You can buy the book right now.
I just thought about what we'll do is we'll do a giveaway and we'll be giving away signed copies.
Okay, we can do that.
We can do giveaway signed
Little
copies.
Cyber Shorty in
So
the
they
inside.
like, I remember when
Cyber
Cybershortieee was right there sitting by the on air sign. Now let's see. I think I said we was gonna get into fee stuff. I don't know if I got time to download her fourth one, but the context behind this, guys, is a black woman did an EEOC complaint from her company she was working at. She got on the job through Per Scholars, and she pretty much found out that another guy with less experience than her was getting paid more than her, about $5 more an hour, and then about $10 more an hour than another black person. And so she was courageous and did it. So we're going to try to react to all three parts.
Y'all, so we're going to have to turn some saxophones back on. So I
You turn it up?
One of my
She's real low.
who is a white male. We got hired at the same time. Same recruiter. He doesn't have any certifications. I have certifications.
A little bit more.
That's all I got.
And others. He's making $5 more
there we go.
per hour. I can't just sit with that. So I'm trying to figure out a way to advocate for myself and basically let them know that if they don't fix this, and fix it fast, then we're gonna have some issues. Because that honestly is an unscrupulous pay gap. And what's crazy is another black woman on my team, she's a little older. I found out she's making $3 less than me because she doesn't have any experience. So that would put him, well, they both don't have any experience, but that still would put him at $8 more an hour than
Oops, I say 10.
You see why they say that? They are the saxophones. You literally can't make this shit up, y'all. So, yeah, I'm gonna follow up on this because yeah, and no, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think I was in the initial comments, like, this always can go two ways. Anytime you're gonna reach out to HR, do something, you better expect possible retaliation, but you might, get to walking.
When I first seen it, I kind of had a little fear in my heart because I'm a little scary when it comes to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely a valid concern, 1000%. And that is the reason why they don't want you to discuss your pay at work, because it will 1000% stir the pot, ruffle feathers, get people upset and angry. And I've never been in a situation like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And let's get to part 2 and then try to part 3 and maybe do part 4 next week. But here we go.
Okay, you guys, I want to give you an update regarding the video I posted the other day where I found out there was a huge pay discrepancy. So if you haven't been tracking, found out a white male coworker, he earns $5 more than me with less experience and less certifications. And then I did some further digging. It seems like there's a palm colored pay scale. Everybody, black or African or whatever, is on the lower end. The closer you get towards palm colored, the more that you make. So I raised this issue, right? And there were some repercussions about raising this issue.
I didn't see this one.
And I'm willing to deal with those repercussions. So in lieu of that, however, I did decide to move forward with the EEOC complaint. I actually got him, he told me in text, right? The same recruiter, because some of y'all was saying, well, maybe he negotiated. And I was like, okay, let's try to give it the benefit of the doubt, right? I asked him, did he negotiate? He said he was told that was the cap. The same exact recruiter told me that was the cap. See, even it's just unfair, because if they told him that was the cap, right? How can anybody even negotiate, right? Just even playing the devil's advocate. How can we negotiate or whatever our salaries and things like that if people are lying to us and engaging in unscrupulous behavior and unfair discriminatory practices? So yeah, I swiftly filed that EEOC complaint. And we're going to go from there, y'all, because I'm not having it. I'm not having it whatsoever. In the meantime, y'all know I'm getting back in school, so that will give me more leverage to advocate for myself. But I do feel like my brain chemistry has changed, because how can you know or how can you negotiate when people are lying? Let's circle back to that question. Because there's all this talk about negotiation. When they lie to you and they say, well, this is the cap. You see, racism isn't always outward and extreme. It's like it's subtle like this as well, but this isn't subtle. That is extremely violent behavior, especially in this economy. So yeah, I filed that EEOC because I'm not playing with people. I'm gonna cause as much trouble as I possibly can. But ultimately, that reminds me of why I said the end goal was entrepreneurship, but I feel like the near goal has to be entrepreneurship as well, because I can't deal with too much of people playing on my fucking head top. I'm not a pussy. Okay? And wherever I go, it's like I cause trouble in a sense because I speak up. Like, I'm not just going with the flow. And that causes a lot of problems with me and certain kind of people. Right? And like I was talking to my friends, like, bands that don't like that. No, they don't like that. But that's the exact kind of person I am. I'm always going to stand up for myself. I'm even going to stand up for other people. Because I can't deal with certain things. This is my life. And if you try to put me out the driver's seat of my life, you're a fucking op. And I'm going to treat you as such. So I'm looking for a lawyer, and I filed those complaints. Okay? They will see me in court or arbitration.
I guess arbitration, she mean it.
I was just finna say, people don't even know what arbitration is.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm with her. I think, it's funny, people try to label women like her as like a bad employee, but no, honestly, she's just doing the right thing, speaking up for people. Because a lot of times, what I found out in corporate is if I didn't say something, nobody else was going to say nothing.
I think the part that is like kind of eye-opening for me is being told that there isn't a way for you to negotiate, but finding out that there actually is. What is going on there? Like that.
What do you mean by that?
Literally.
Yeah.
I don't, that's all I got.
Yeah, that and just getting in the text was good. I think at the end of the day, they're going to realize, hey, we got to be honest. That's why California and New York and other states push
Very
for
transparent.
They push, but see, here's the thing with the freaking salary transparent thing when it comes to remote jobs. it'll only be the high end salary will only be for the New Yorks and the Californians.
1000%.
But when it comes to you living here, they'll try to say, well, you know, cost of labor here is cheaper. I don't care what it is. Pay me the same thing. Them people ain't doing nothing different than I am. Pay me the same.
It's all it'd be like California and Washington, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, pay me the same. It's not cheap out here. This ain't 2010. And they be having the nerve to like, I'm like, bro, you're trying to. I applied to this thing because this was the salary range, and this ain't more than what I'm making now. So why am I even talking to you? And they're like, well, you got a point. You got a point. Like eventually, like, dude, don't let me take a screening call with a recruiter and I'm on this keyboard. I'm be like,
I beg your pardon.
I'm gonna be saying stuff like that.
I beg your finest pardon.
Or let me see. She got part 3. Let's see what she said in part 3 real quick. Because this actually, I might have to download part 4 just off the strength of her sending me this. Let's see.
Yeah, so here's a part 3. If you haven't been tracking, I filed an EEOC because I found out a white coworker, he was making $5 more an hour than me with less experience, less certifications. And I apparently between my coworkers, if you black, you darker, the darker you are, the less as you make. Okay, that's a pattern. Yeah, and I just want to talk about that and just, I've been so fundamentally re-radicalized by this situation. And I just want black people to know, ambitious black people, that you cannot black capitalism your way. You cannot triumph this system with black capitalism. Like, even my husband, even before the situation, we talk about the economy situation. Oh, people just got to make more money. They got to get a high-paying career. I'm like, well, everybody can't be in tech. We need people in all places. That don't mean that they're less. Everyone plays their role in society. Everybody cannot be in tech.
And funny enough, her and I actually had that conversation behind the scenes. And I was like, when you actually think about it, everybody ain't supposed to have no tech job.
Facts.
Everybody,
I mean, just like she said, we need people to fulfill all of these roles. And we're in a culture right now where everybody wants to have the top role.
Right. But you got to think about it. We came from a different time. Like, I remember me and my homie was talking about, like, hey, man, remember back in the day, we was going to school growing up, your partner or somebody, daddy or something had like a regular job and he found him a little baddie that was like a pharmacy tech at Walmart or something. Like, them days don't be existing no more. Nobody want to work a regular job. One, because everything going up and they don't want to pay right. Two, now you got so much self-checkout and everything else. The jobs are just for regular people with certain IQs. They can't even do them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like everybody in the catch-22 right now.
Plus, it doesn't matter how much you earn if the goalpost and the cost of living, that goalpost constantly moves. Okay, what you make 20, 30, 40, 50 more thousand, right? But now the rent is $500 to $1,000 more. Now a pack of chicken is $50. Like, you can't black capitalist your way to freedom, right? And I used to be one of those black folks like, you just gotta earn more money, get on your stuff, this, that, and the third. But, as I've gotten older and I've had more experience, I've begun to become more empathetic because just imagine, like, even just playing the devil's advocate. So going back to the situation with my coworker, they told him his salary, his pay was a cap. They told me my pay was a cap. They lied to him. They didn't even give him an opportunity to negotiate. And what's crazy is the system is fucking all of us over, but they give, white people a little more crumbs and cookies than they give us. But ultimately, everybody is fucked. But it's just so unfortunate because this is a systemic issue from my research, right? And just to think, if you're even a black person making 6 figures, right? Let's say you're making 100,000, because six figures is wide. Let's say you're a black person making 100,000. Just to think, you are more qualified or whatever. You had to have 8 to 10 certifications more than a white man's 1. So you got to have 3, 4 degrees. Versus a white man's high school diploma and a cert. Like, actually, I have a friend, he makes like 160, and his credentials is like reading the scrolls of the Bible, and his boss is a high school dropout that makes like over $250,000 per year. You cannot black capitalism your way out of racism and structural inequalities. Like, this shit has changed me forever. Like, when I tell you I'm about to lean in on reading, I got all the Black Panther books and James Baldwin and all the ancestors and stuff like this. I gotta go back and do the work, and because the answers is already out there. Because I just have so many questions, and yeah, y'all. I just wanted to share that little blurb. Like, racism is really fucking nasty, and it's not something that I take lightly anymore. And it's just crazy because when you think about white people, you think about, wealthy people when you say like the white man, but this particular recruiter was a white woman, a regular white woman, playing into the system, participating in the system, creating, structural ineconomy, structural, you know the hell I mean, systemic racism, inequality, whatever the hell that word. I can't think of that. You see how that works? Smiling all in our faces.
Yeah, she's seeing firsthand though. When you had all the stuff when people talk about these elections and everything else, and realize, hey, they vote just like the others do. So
I think it was an interesting take because we know that this happens, but when it happens to you, and when you're the one that this is happening to, when you realize it, it hits a lot different. So I do commend her for having the courage enough to, you know, say something and try to get some justice.
And here goes part 4.
Okay, you guys, so I want to add more thoughts to this because on prior videos, you guys know I filed an EEOC complaint about rage discrimination based on race and gender. I'm not going to retell the story, so if you want to know the full story, you guys should go back and watch the videos. But I want to add, because my prior videos were, you know, really emotional, rightfully so, because I have the right to be mad. I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm disheartened, I'm sad, all of the above, right? But I want to come back and just build upon this because, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, you follow me and you appreciate what I have to offer, and even though I don't ask to be some of you guys, you really look at me like a mentor, so I'm sharing my journey. What I want to say and talk about in this video is the importance of like developing your professional armor, so to speak, right? And having mentors, right? Or maybe even you might have to pay a coach, but I would lean more towards a mentor. There's nothing wrong with paying a coach, whatever is suitable, because I feel like in this industry and the way of the economy and the job market at this time and space, it's so important to have that professional fortress, right? So I've been linking up with people, you know, people above me, people laterally, just to kind of gain some insight, whatever the case may be, because I think, you know, in addition to the racism and the gender aspect of the situation, I think it's 50% the race and gender, right? And then the other 50% is that, you know, all of us, we came from the Perscolis boot camp, and I believe that these recruiters were preying upon us. Like, I don't know their compensation structure or whatever, I'm sure some involved. I wholeheartedly believe these, even the white guy who got the highest wages, they weren't fair to him because they didn't allow him to negotiate. They told him his was a cap, they told me mine was a cap, they told my other workers theirs was a cap. So they all knew that we were green and eager to get our foot into the door and this and that and the third, right? And I think that set us up, right? So if I were to have like constructive critique, like even for Perscolis, is that they need to have, I don't know if it's possible, but they should have some measures in place too to protect themselves. But at the end of the day, it's not their fault. They did what they needed to do in a sense. But when we get out into this world, we have to have that armor, because when you are from a disadvantaged place or space, and that disadvantage isn't always race, it could just simply being green and not really knowing what's going on, and you know, you're at that early point in your career where you're more eager than stern and serious, right? And you just have to learn how to advocate for yourself. So y'all, I've been reaching out to people and get my mentors, especially like, you know, other Black women who have navigated this space. I reached out to this one lady, she's a senior engineer, where I made another new friend. He's a senior engineer, white guy. I told him he'll give me my reparations by helping me out. But no, that's really it. I wanted to add that because, you know, I'm just going to update the situation because I do feel like this can help you guys. Like, yeah, unfortunately, in 80.
Okay, cool. She gonna yap a little bit. So to close it out, that's also why I made the video. I think that was one episode. What episode it was? I was talking about Black recruiters and stuff was needed, and a lot of times you'll have
that was like 2 episodes ago.
You'll have a person that doesn't really know the job pays. I'm like, nah, that's too low. I'm going to submit you for this. So I think all that stuff is needed. Salary transparency is needed. That's why I like that. Some people don't like people share their salaries, but at the same time, I think it's beneficial because sometimes you don't know what you can make or if you actually be underpaid.
I'm an advocate for it, especially with your friends. You and your friends should be honest with how
the
much
friends
you
that's
make.
in the same industry.
That part. That's what I'm saying. No, facts. Yes. I want that because you might find out like what you make it, huh? You just like he said, you don't know what you can make. You don't know what the limit is. Is there a limit?
Yeah, but we can say I wonder. Like I know she was doing something like healthcare related, so I know this how they're gonna feel in arbitration.
What's wrong, okay? When I came down.
If anybody know where that sound is from, that video from, that thing be killing me every time. Because who told that old man to do that on that video? But no, man, I appreciate everybody that's rocked with us for The last 2 and almost 20 minutes, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Appreciate everybody. Hostile Takeover drops tomorrow. Get your copy. Watch us on the replay. Share this out. Give us reviews, leave us reviews, everything. Like I said, join the Patreon. If you join the highest tier, maybe you can talk to me or Cybershortieee. Who knows? We'll just let it rock out. But like I always say, let's stay textual, and we out. Peace.